And I will stop sharing and turn the mic over to Brock.
Okay, that's always dangerous. I'm Brock Brewster, superintendent at Western Local. We're in Western Pike County. Most years, the poorest district in the state. Median income about $26,500. So we have unique challenges that a lot of people don't face. As a matter of fact, I probably feel like we're one of the most unique districts in the state because of our combination. We have the lowest median income, the lowest percentage of adults with a college education of any kind. We're about 8%, 8%, less than 8% with any college degree, including associates. Back whenever the metric was there about professional occupations, we're the lowest in the state there also. So all that lends itself to not having environmental factors that are conducive to kids with a career-based mindset. Most of our workforce is a lot self-employed, works at sawmills, they work in the timber industry. They just do things to survive. There's not in our district, there's not a factory. In our district, there are literally two convenience stores with gas stations, one carry out / convenience store, diner, and there's a gravel quarry that's right outside of town. So in reality, I mean, there's no town council, no structure, none of those things that lend itself to an environment that kids can feel like that they're really part of the world. So because of that, and I'm born and raised here. I'm a 1992 graduate of Western High School. Been here, came back here at 22, 23 years old, and taught high school biology, and left for 2 years with the Peoples as an assistant principal to high school. Came back here in the fall of 06 to do curriculum for a year, a high school principal for 7 years, and this is my 10th year as superintendent. So this is my whole life has revolved around this community and the school district. And it just really started wearing on me in the last couple of years about me not feeling like we were really preparing our kids for success after high school. They played the game well. They did what they're supposed to. They're well behaved, all that stuff. But we had so many kids leaving here without any type of plan or any type of any real idea of what they were going to do. And so it started really being a stressful thing to me, to thinking, we're sending kids out here that play the school game really well, but what do they have to show for it? And I really, this kind of all came to fruition for me as far as the need to change this when I went to the funeral of one of my former students about 1.5 years ago. And as I'm at the funeral, I'm watching a whole bunch of other 25-year-olds in line crying, all upset. And my only thought was, which of you are going to be next? And so that I thought, if I would have done a better job as high school principal getting Danielle on track at 16 years old or earlier, maybe she wouldn't have chosen that pathway because she had died of an overdose. So anyway, that is one of the driving factors for me to really, really look at how do we change? How do we make a change? How do we really give our kids an educational experience that will set them up for success in the future? So that's the background. So I know I'm supposed to talk about Western Built, and so that's what I'll do. I didn't put together any fancy slides or anything like that for this. I probably should have, but it's really something we can almost talk about, and there's not a lot of, the crazy thing is there's not a ton of fancy details too. It's just really it's a change of mindset that really puts everything back in the lap and in the hands of the students. It's not a program, or it's not a something you buy. It's not something that you get online. It is just in reality a change in mindset that makes everything we do really intentionality is kind of what we like to refer to. Everything we do here is intentional. And this is really, this year, the 23-24 school year has really been this kind of the delve into building Western Built, building this future focused program that I'm going to talk about. And so putting all the pieces together in a way that we are going to be successful and not just putting something together that may or may not work. We know this will work. We have no doubt that it's going to work. And so really now it's more of just putting it together. So, I mean, is there any questions up to this point? Okay. So Western Built is a marketing program. So when I first come up with this, it was how do we, in an area with almost no jobs and kids with almost no exposure to the workforce from a systematic standpoint, when you don't have parents who get up in the morning and go to work at the same time every day and return to the same time every day and all that stuff, doesn't create a mindset of our kids of a structure. So I thought, how can we make our kids, how can we create that structured environment here at school that they don't have at home? So we come up with Western Built. And I don't know the acronym for Western Built. It's down here at the bottom. So BUILT is business partnerships, university connections. Let me share this. If I can remember how to do this. Share screen.
Should be a green
Gotcha.
arrow. There, I see it. Perfect.
Okay.
Yep.
So Western Built stands for business partnerships, university connections, industry recognized credentials, life and career specific skills, and training and technology. So that's the acronym that really encompasses what we're trying to accomplish. So when I say it's a marketing program, I wanted to come up with something. Mr. Dunn and I came up with this concept. How do we make our kids marketable in an environment that is very foreign to what they have been raised up in and very foreign to what they naturally know? So we had a business partners meeting. We invited every business in our whole entire region, and about 80 businesses showed up on an April afternoon, 80 people representing probably 60 businesses on an afternoon last April. And we were floored with the response. We really didn't expect it at all. We started getting RSVPs and it started growing and growing. So we explained a little bit of this, and it was just starting a year ago. This has been about exactly a year ago. So we just really said, okay, employers, we want to partner with you. You tell us what you need. You tell us what you need to make our kids viable for you, to give our kids a fighting chance to get a really good job with one of your companies. You tell us what you need us to do to set our kids up for success. And it was really simple. So after the meeting, we had a nice lunch and we talked for a while and lasted about an hour and a half. They went home, started sending us responses back to our survey. And pretty simple. We need students. We need workers who could show up on time, pass a drug test, and stay off their phones and work with others. Beyond that, we will teach we will teach them what they need to know. Well, that seemed pretty simple. So that's what we started working on that. And from that is where Western Built came from. To do those things that they ask us to do. And I sent out an update a month or so ago to all of our partners saying, okay, guys, here's what you asked for. And here's where we are in the process. And so we've had a great response. We have had, there's excitement. There are people willing to work with us. They're wanting to work with us or wanting to help us. So when I say marketing, it really is that. It's how do we make our kids we want to be I told them, I said, we want to be the source for employees. When Kenworth needs workers, I want Stacy Robertson from Kenworth HR office calling me saying, Brock, we need 20 workers for this. What do you have? That's kind of the idea behind it. We want them to look to our kids first. And we only graduated about 60 kids. So, clearly we can't supply that much of a workforce anywhere, but we want our kids to be in line and to be set up to to be the go-to place. So what we came up with, how do we make our kids marketable? How do we make our kids something we can stand behind? So we come up with this Western Built, and it says every student, meaning every kid that we are calling Western Built, every kid that we are marketing, they will do these things. They will complete a middle school career discovery course. Actually, let me go back up here. They will pass a drug test. They will be able to take instruction and direction. They will be able to work with others, and they will be able to be focused on the task. How do we do that? Every kid takes a middle school career discovery course in the 7th grade, delivered through Future Plans. Everything that we do is rooted in GRIT, the GRIT program, and Future Plans assessment. So every kid will complete the middle school career discovery course in 7th grade. Every student will complete the high school career discovery course in 9th grade. Now, those are semester courses that we allow the students to have the entire year to work on. We piloted those this year with really good results. The kids like the courses. So actually, these 2 courses are delivered through Adminum, actually. Through, we always call it Study Island, but most of it's really Adminum now. Then in 10th grade, so at the end of 9th grade, every student takes the GRIT assessment, which is really the Future Plans assessment, in 9th grade. 10th grade, every student receives GRIT coaching from a certified coach during 10th grade. We have people on staff that can coach. We also have outside people who work for GRIT or for Future Plans that can coach. Every student completes the Future Plans soft skills courses and takes certification tests during 10th grade. That's after they were GRIT coached. They take the Future Plans soft skills courses, which is rooted in all those things that employers ask for: teamwork, leadership, communication. There's 6 courses that are 5 hours each. And so every kid takes that, and they will receive a certification after their assessment in that at the end of the 10th grade year. And kind of I think the things that makes us unique, maybe, I hope we don't stay unique, but it's every student gets to choose their own electives based on the results of their Future Plans assessment. So we have done away with general electives. No more current events, no more history through film, no more astronomy, no more meteorology, no more sticking kids into courses just because you have to have a place to go. So our path is every kid choose their own electives. So you may have instead of current events with 20 kids in current events that don't want to be there, you have 20 kids in that teacher's classroom, each on their Chromebook, completing potentially a different elective. So 20 different electives delivered during 6th period, which what used to be 20 kids getting current events. Now it's 20 kids getting 20 different electives of their choosing. So I've talked for a while. Are there any questions at this point? Any clarification needed?
Brock, I don't know if you mentioned I know you're a very small rural district. What's the size of your district, like your student population?
Well, we graduate roughly 60, but right now we have 200 as of today, 289 in grade 7 through 12. So we're running about 750 kids district wide.
Okay.
K through 12.
Awesome. Thank you.
So we have about traditionally, and regardless of how hard we've worked and how much we've done, we still have 15 to 18% of our kids that are attending college after high school. And so it was the same in 1992 when I graduated. The difference is now we offer a lot of CCP courses. We offer 13 CCP courses here on site delivered by our own teachers. And so the difference now is in 1992, everyone in a poor district can go to college for free. Everybody got a Pell Grant. You could go, kids would say, oh, I'll just try it. Let's just see how I like college. The dropout rate was pretty high. Now, about every kid who starts college finishes because they've already gotten most of them 2 years in high school. So they're not going to just put in 2 years of high school working their tails off in high school, then think, oh, well, this college thing isn't for me. I think I'll just go ahead and drop out. So our graduation rate is really good right now, but our attendance rate is no higher than it was, again, 30 years ago. And so no matter how hard we work to try to eliminate that and fix that, we couldn't do it. And so fortunately, the workforce has taken the turn to where a bachelor's degree is not required. So we are really working on it. I mean, I have a son. My oldest son is a union lineman. He makes $40 an hour. New River puts 25% into his retirement every paycheck. You know, he's making more now than I was when I started being high school principal. Well, a lot more. And so fortunately, you know, our kids don't have to go get a bachelor's degree to have a really good job. So, you know, so the uniqueness of Western Built, the reason that we put it together this way is we want, if we're saying if we're marketing these kids and putting our name behind them, then you're going to have to do some things for us. And those things are, so to qualify to be Western Built, they must agree to the following conditions and meet the following guidelines. They must pass an initial drug test and agree to random follow-up tests. They must agree to releasing their academic record to prospective employers. They must agree to releasing their attendance records to prospective employers. They must agree to release their disciplinary records to employers. They have to submit a resume with all coursework, including credentials and seals earned, and complete at least one semester of a work skills course with Mr. Williams. That's something they all have to agree to in order for us to say, we're going to market you. Now, if we have a kid who wants to work at McDonald's or who wants to work at Rural King, then, and they don't want us to market them as Western Built, that's okay. They can do that. They don't have to submit to any of those things. They can just go work wherever they want to. But if they're being marketed as Western Built with our name on them as certified Western Built students, they have to agree to those things. And so every student entering 10th grade will have taken a middle school career discovery course, a high school career discovery course, the youth science assessment, and the future plans assessment. And every high school student taking elective courses that are aligned to the chosen field of study or workforce prep course. Every kid going to career techs, the CTC, will have a clearly defined plan and complete the College Credit Plus pathway or the career discovery pathway. Every non-CCP 11th grader will take a semester of work skills, at least one semester of work skills, and be a part of a pre-apprenticeship program. Every non-College Credit Plus 12th grader will be working outside the high school building as part of an apprenticeship program or for a company their senior year, at least for half the day, in addition to taking the required courses. So that really, I know I've talked a lot, that is really the gist of Western Built. That is a part of what we're doing. So any clarification there? That it's really simple. That's the beauty of it, I guess.
Brock, I just have a question for you. Do you have any data or percentage of how many of your students have agreed to buy into this Western Built?
We haven't yet because we are rolling this out as a full implementation with students scheduled this spring. Mm-hmm. So I've met with all the juniors and seniors about the pre-apprenticeship and stuff like that already. So we haven't, we will have a good idea late May of how many kids are, well, first of all, in the Western Built, we have a great response from our kids and our parents of who want to participate. And the majority of our kids, over half our kids right now are in the Drug Free Club of America. So that takes care of the drug testing side. So really, our kids know about this. We haven't really spent a lot of time talking to our younger kids about this. We have the juniors and seniors, so we don't have any data yet because this year has been kind of a pilot for us. Again, we just started really building this thing last fall. And so a lot of this is, it's not experimental, but it's really kind of build as you go. But we're at the place right now that it's built. And as we start scheduling kids, at the end of this month, we're going to have those conversations with those kids about being Western Built. And if you want to get out and work your senior year or junior year, here are the things that you are going to have to do to be able to be part of that. And again, we have kids who just want to go to work someplace that's fine. But our go-to is, if you're going to just go to work someplace at Rural King, we can get you on a pre-apprenticeship pathway to where you can go ahead and get your pre-apprenticeship in that, and do the drug test and do all that kind of stuff. It's a best of both worlds type scenario. We've had kids who were already planning on working at Long's Retreat, which is a local business, it's a resort. We said, how many of you guys are going to work there this summer? 3 or 4 raised their hand. We said, listen, guys, why don't we go ahead and get you signed up for the pre-apprenticeship in hospitality and tourism, and you're already working there. You're already getting paid. Why don't you go and get your pre-apprenticeship while you're there? Bria, who's my first cousin that runs the place. My uncle's the owner. She can sign off on the hours. So we're really trying to tie all this together. You're already working there. You might as well get that extra little boost while you're there.
Absolutely.
So Western Built is really pretty simple, but I think the neat thing and this is, let me see if I'm sharing right now. Let me do this. So we have a program. This isn't a program. This is the culmination of everything. Is called Future Focus, is where Western Built falls into the Future Focus program. It's just part of it. So the initiatives of the Future Focus program are the ability to offer pre-apprenticeships, working with East Central Ohio ESC, Gary Rosser, to offer these pre-apprenticeships. Where we have Western Built. The third part is to create a college campus model for our college credit, our CCP students. And the third is creation of a micro ecosystem on our campus. Those are the 4 initiatives that we're working on that already are kind of in place. They're in the early stages and they're kind of being dabbled in right now, but they will go full implementation next August. We've thought through this stuff, and what we didn't want to do was start and think, oh shoot, we just aren't ready for this. We've really put a lot of time and effort into making sure we're ready. So when we go, it'll go without hangups. There's none of this stuff really would involve any type of hangups. We've been pretty careful. I have a bad habit of kind of jumping into things head first, but I force myself by surrounding me with people who aren't that way to slow me down, because I have a lot of great ideas and sometimes I get ahead of myself. So we really worked hard on trying to make this something that would really work, not just be a pipe dream. So Western Built, summarized, is a commitment to preparing our kids for success after high school by helping ensure they get on a path that leads to employment. This is accomplished by emulating the skills and values that employers need and want every day. So I've already explained Western Built. So the neat thing here, I think, is, so it says, in this Future Focus, it says, the reason for this need was, right now, kids tell us what we want. They tell us what they think we want to hear. The Western Built system reverses that. The students tell us what they want to be, and we assist them in getting there. So the Future Focus here is, don't tell us what you think we want you to be. Don't just say, the reason that we stopped partnering with My College Options is because 96% of our kids say on there they want to go to get a bachelor's degree, which is odd, because we know it's not going to be more than 15%. So I thought, those kids they take a survey and think, well, our teachers want to go to college, want us to go to college. We're going to say we're going to go to college. Makes no sense. So Western Built is all based on the students' goals and not the adult expectations of what we think they should be. And also not what we think success looks like. I told my teachers, I met with them a few weeks ago, I said, listen, guys, what I need you to do is stop looking at kids who say they just want to go work for a union and make $50 an hour. Quit looking disappointed when I tell you that. Don't look at them like, oh, you're so smart, you need to go to college, you need to really make something yourself. I've got a 23-year-old who's making more money than I made when I was 45 years old and loves his job. I said, don't look at them like they're a disappointment because they choose to not go to college. And I said, you don't have to change, you just have to change your attitude. And I've done it as a teacher, thinking, you know what, this kid's so smart, he needs to go to college. Well, I've stopped doing that. That's not my call. And that's not my decision. And so I've come to realization is all that has done is caused kids to go to college who shouldn't have gone and not be successful. So a second thing is the college campus model for our CCP students. We offer 13 courses on campus right here, taught by our teachers. We are trying to give our CCP students we're 45 minutes from the closest regional campus. So we don't want kids driving 45 minutes to Chillicothe or Portsmouth. We want to give them the college feel without ever leaving Latham. So freedom to use our career development center, freedom to come and go as they want, all that kind of stuff. I know you want me to talk, and the Western ecosystem is, we call it West LA. Our kids all know what that is. We are creating our own ecosystem here through creating student-run businesses here on our campus that will emulate and imitate what it would be like to actually live in a town that had businesses. Our kids don't have a place to go buy Christmas presents for grandma or for mom or for their brother. They don't have a place to go. They can't go to the farmer's market here. They can't go to a jewelry shop, none of that kind of stuff. So we're trying to create an ecosystem here that has all those things. That's all student ran. So this is kind of the newest part of this, but we have a plan for it, and it will be implemented in September when we really have this stuff fully rolling. And I put in here the measure of success, and this is for our students, is how will we determine whether this is all working? We will know when we see an increase in attendance, desired student behaviors, percentage of kids volunteering for the drug-free club, success in the core academic courses, participation in voluntary electives, meaning you have to take an elective, but we were talking about the kids who take coding as an elective and think, oh my gosh, I love that so much. Can I please take coding 1B now? When they finish a semester course in 4 weeks and they want another one, that's when we'll start to say this is working. Participation in pre-apprenticeship program, internships, and acceptance into the desired college programs. That's how we'll know. And I've shared these documents on the link to this presentation. That's how we'll know it's working. But the next phase, the other phase of this that makes us unique, is we partner with Grit to build a career development center. And so that is a building on our campus, our back parking lot, that is designed for it's an adult remote work center. Anyone in our community who is enrolled in any educational program, whether that's completing their high school diploma or GED, going to college, working remotely, can use our building free of charge. Come here and access internet. We have desktops, and we also have Chromebooks. They can come here and they can do that. And it gives our people who have very limited internet the ability to access remote jobs and online college and remote learning and all that kind of stuff. So we've done that. And kind of the push behind all that was, it kind of hit me not real long ago. And I thought, for years I've heard teachers blame the parents. Teachers love to blame parents. Well, no wonder the kid can't this, they can't that, because their parents can't, their parents won't, their parents this, their parents that. Well, I thought, and then we always said, well, you can't change the parents, you just have to do the best with what you have. And I thought, why can't we change the parents? Why do we have to say we can't change the parents? I have a tremendous amount of influence here over our parents because I've either taught or been the principal of most of these parents at this point. I thought, why can't we fix the parents? So through that, we are started partnering with Graduation Alliance. We currently have about 12 people enrolled in completing their high school diploma through Graduation Alliance, parents, right now. And we have a 52-year-old grandma out working right now at our career center that's getting her GED. And so we are partnering with our parents to help them get better jobs, to help them be partners with us, as opposed to when our teachers look at our parents as a kind of a drain on what we're trying to do. We're really trying to reverse that and make these parents true partners in what we're trying to do. And we've done it through building this remote work center. and we have another building that should be out for bid next week. It's a career training center that will be attached to our remote work center. So that's a whole nother Zoom meeting, explaining all that. But it's just the tying everything together that we want to make the fixing kids lots of times starts with helping the parents become partners and not adversaries. And we have great support from our parents, very little involvement, but great support, meaning they trust us to do whatever the heck we want with their kids. They don't bother us and we don't bother them. They send their kids here every day and whatever we do is great. Well, that's okay, but it's not making them a partner. So we really want partners in our parents. So that's really what we're trying to accomplish. So it's a lot. And what we're doing is a lot, but it's really very simple and it's not complicated and it's very, very doable. And we have a great amount of momentum right now in what we're doing. And so I really believe that we're going to really see some pretty neat things come by. And it won't be 5 years down the road. We're seeing things happening right now at a faster pace than we expected. Last thing, one of the things I'm most proud of, it sounds kind of crazy, but I told my math teacher, our kids hate math. Our kids don't do well in math here. They don't see a point in it. In reality, you can't explain. You can lie all you want to and tell kids are going to use algebra 2 again, but you're lying to them when you tell them that. The majority won't, depending on the career they go into. But when you only have 15% going to college, I'll guarantee you there's 85% not using algebra 2. So we chose to do the quantitative reasoning for the algebra 2 or its equivalent. I told my math teacher, I said, listen, we need to find a way to make the work keys math fit into what we're doing. So we did. We delivered the work keys math content through Edmentum. 18 kids took the work keys courses through Edmentum. 17 of the 18 received passing scores on all 3 parts. And I went to Michelle, my math teacher. I said, Michelle, explain to me how kids who have never been successful in math ever are seniors in high school. They've never liked math nor been successful. Explain to me how those kids all of a sudden pass the math work keys test when they've never passed a math test in their whole life, really. I said, could you answer that for me? I already knew the answer. And she said, because I convinced them that there's something in it for them. I said, so you mean to tell me, let me get this straight. You mean to tell me that you spent time telling them what was in it for them and how it would benefit them in the short run and long run. And then all of a sudden, by some miracle, they have better attendance, they have better behavior, they have more engagement, more focus. She said, yep. I said, so are you telling me that these kids probably put forth more effort in math this year than they have the previous 11 years of their life? She said, absolutely, because she had all those kids as juniors. She said, it's amazing the turnaround in these kids from one year to the next. And it's only because the work keys is relevant. So that kind of sums up everything we're trying to do is almost validated by that one thing.
I love hearing that, Brock, and I love your measures of success, seeing that increase in attendance, seeing that increase in engagement. I can't wait to see the changes that come next year when you get all of this fully implemented.
Yeah. I think we'll see results fast and they'll be clear, and we're going to know very quickly if it's working or not. I mean, there's excitement here. It just feels different. I've been here my whole life. It just feels different right now. I just looked today. I have 6.5 years till I retire. And Dana and I, when Dana came down, we talked. I said, when you say that, it really gives me a sense of urgency. A lot of people say, I can't, oh my God, 6 more years. Well, it gives me thinking it's only 6.5 years. And the day I'm done, here's my motivation. I spent my whole entire life preparing for retirement. I have a farm with about 100 cows, and I love the farm probably more than I should. And so when I'm done, I'm done. I won't be one of these people who work 5 extra years because I'm not, when I'm done. So I have a defined amount of time to accomplish what I want to and what we need to. And I'm going to live here the rest of my life. My farm's My house and farm's 4 miles up the road, 3.5 miles up the road. So what I do in the next 6.5 years are going to determine what community my grandkids live in. And so that's my motivation.
That is, I think Beth said it in the chat. That is very inspiring. You know, you have taken a place that doesn't have a lot of resources and made it resourceful. So I applaud you. That's fantastic.
We'll share anything we're doing. I'll be happy to share that. Like the documents are there. I love the simplicity of it, and I just really feel like it's going to work, and it's going to work in a pretty exciting way. And people are wanting to partner with us. We have people calling all the time. What are you guys doing down there? The neat thing is going to be once we do have that data, by next Christmas, we'll have some pretty good data on how many of our kids are really, kids who come from families who no one's ever worked in a family at a regular job. They're interested in getting out and going to work for a company. And one thing we're doing right now, next week here in our career center, we're offering OSHA 30 on site to any 18-year-old or older student and anyone in the community, 31 spots, OSHA 30 on site. We're also offering a Microsoft Office credential through GRIT, through Future Plans. And so we're doing that right here on site. We're offering phlebotomy, DSP, I think it's called, and STNA this summer. All right here.
That's
So,
wonderful. And having that availability for past students, I'll call them, instead of adults, we'll call it past students.
Yep.
I love that.
Yep.
If you haven't already, Brock, if you would be willing to share that Western Built kind of explanation, couple pages that you have, you can either send it to Harmony or to me if you've got my email address, and then we can share that on the Google Sites as some of the presentations.
Well, I think she has both those things. So Melissa, I sent it to Melissa.
Oh, okay.
They're linked and added to the Google site, but I'll go ahead and email you anyway, just in case something, that way you'll have it, that way you can just forward it straight on, but share it with anybody you want to. It's kind of our creation. It's our creation, and it's I'm just excited. I mean, I just really feel like it's exciting, and I'm really looking forward to how this is going to work, how this is going to go.
That's awesome. I'm excited for you guys and excited to see what's coming.
Yep. Share it with anyone you want.
I am going to really quickly, I see where Matt stuck it in the chat, but share my screen again. If I can find I have too many tabs open.
Katie, I want to email right now. I'm going to email this to you right now, the Future Focus program, and also the Western Built. I'm going to send it right now, so you'll have it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Let me share. Okay. So again, thank you all for being here this afternoon. There's a QR code for feedback or for a certificate if you need. And I know Matt shared both of those links in the chat as well. I will also direct you back to the Google website. There are 2 more sessions, actually 3 more sessions coming up this afternoon. There will be another one at 1:30, one at 2:30, and then kind of a wrap-up session for everyone at 3:30. So amazing, promising practices from all across the state to learn what everybody's doing. So direct you back to that Google site. Recordings of all of these sessions and presentation materials will also be uploaded on that site as soon as they are available. So Melissa Salazzo, who led the opening session, is kind of the Wonder Woman of getting everything on there. So basically, as quickly as she can do that, I would hope by the end of this week. So again, thank you everybody for being here, and have a wonderful rest of your afternoon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brock.
Bye.